Kubleye pi baro kini kilongi kubor pam dagasngi. Umantri rangba ke jila u konvert ke Sangma ula pliye ke jingelang pat ba balai sngi halor ke Early Childhood Development ECD hashilong. Kabawan ra langi kinong thao policy ke start sayan berki kinhun beper na kelengkeri. Habakran ha ke jingelang u konvert ula ong ba ke Jingjop jengkinu kinu ke Skhim kam Shong ha ke Jingthaw policy Thymmai Henry ha ke jingpentray kam ke babhai ke Skhim ke bladan lupa. Ula batai baka Meghalaya klala ban penkiu shibun ya gajing pentrekam ya ki scheme kum ka MGNREGA but ki project bawan jingiram na shabari. Ula ban juru baga jela ka haban itu igidaw tunrai jung ki jing but penwanduri ki lat jingirap ki bayaham kum ka nuksa ka bapinhyari ka jingyap ki long kemi bakhakun ka sorkar kala penlet jingmut amtang ha ki hospital henry ha kalet ka wanru. Jakasa barka jingerap pisa ling baki safe motherhood homes. Ukonrat loong baka Jingthaw ka Jingjop kamday tang ha ka Jingtay Jingdap henry ha ka Jingmi ki babhay ki paitba. Ula kadaw ru ya ka model program ka bawan ra alang ikitanat baper bantray na ka binta ka koit ka kya jangki kmi bat ki kunlong.
I remember in 2018 when I had just taken over as Chief Minister. And I very distinctly remember, and the reason I'm saying this is because of Patricia's presentation, and it just struck a chord with me. And I remember the press asking me, what is it that you're going to do as Chief Minister? And I remember one quote from one person I really admire a lot. His name is Shiv Kera. And I quoted him, which is really genuinely I meant it, when I said that I will not do anything different, but I'll do them differently. And that's really the core of what we've been trying to do in the last 8 years. And I keep telling my other friends, whoever asks me, oh my God, you're doing this work, you're doing this, so how do you do it? So I said that, you know what, I don't do anything. I tell them, I don't do anything. He said, I only do a very simple thing. And the simple thing is for me to be able to identify the right people, put them in the right place, and allow them to do everything. That's all I do. And I think that is very, very important for a system to be able to run, because a team requires that support from the leadership. During times when somebody will come and say, why are you doing this? You say, well, I have your back. Don't worry, just keep going. Because we know we can see the horizon, we can see what's happening and where we are heading towards. And I think that's really very, very important for a system to work together. So I think that is again my second message, which is very important. As I said, first is we don't have to do innovative or different things. We just have to allow the same things that are there, but just ensure that the capacity goes up, just ensure that the picture is clear in front of us, and we are able to implement things just in a better manner. And the second thing, as I said, to make that happen, you need to have the right team to be there and give the right support politically to allow them to make make things happen. And I think the third point here is also that not every single system will work in every state. So I think while we identify, again, a very important point that I could hear from different points and speeches being made, is that it's very important to also understand what the problem is, and a lot of times I think all of you are experts out here, you will know better than me, that most of the time we actually end up looking at the result and thinking that that's the problem, and we don't really actually understand the real problem that's there. So for example, when the early childhood development, the maternal mortality rate in 2018 was there in front of me, which of course I knew from before. And I was really, very keen to see that come down. So we started off with the system, and we realized that, it was, or rather, I was made to understand at that point, or other officers also understood that, well, it's institutional deliveries. We need to ensure that institutional deliveries goes up and all that stuff. So we started focusing on that, and not realizing that, again, the institutional delivery and the maternal mortality is basically a result of the actual social structure problems that we have. Mothers can't travel 10 kilometers because they have no vehicle, they have no support, they don't have no money to go in. And therefore, it's not that they don't want to go. Well, in some cases it is, But in majority of the cases, the problem is that. So we were pushing institutional deliveries, telling everybody, not realizing that mothers actually are financially not capable to do that. And I think these kind of, again, the third point being that this kind of small assessment of really knowing where the problem lies. So we started incentivizing. So we said, look, we have vehicles. Then my team came and we all discussed. We said, oh, we need 1,000 ambulances. I said, I can't buy 1,000 ambulances. We don't have money for that. So then we went into another program. We said, well, there are vehicles in the village. Somebody has a car. Somebody has a vehicle. So can we not give that person 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees to then drop the mother, and we will pay for it. So we started this whole network of local vehicles present with local people, train them a bit, of course, on how to treat the mother and everything, and use the local assets, paid them money, and then we also realized that sometimes mothers are living very far off. So it's 10 kilometers. It's too long a distance for them to, during that time when it's really needed for them to travel. So we started creating what we call the safe motherhood homes. And we realized that these mothers don't have money actually to sustain because they're living hand to mouth. That's the economic condition, and that's the challenge we face. So obviously for us, what is important, then we said that, look, let's have kind of a guest house, and let's have the safe motherhood home. We'll call it a home, we won't call it a guest house. And we will give good care, we will give good food, we will keep them for 15, 20 days there. We will incentivize it by giving some amount of money to them and to the person who's going to be with them. It could be her husband, it could be her sister, it could be her mother, whoever she wants. And we will incentivize that person's stay also. So therefore then we started doing all this kind of stuff and we started realizing. So my point being, it is important to be able to really understand where the problem is, and then be able to come out with a tailor-made approach of what your state capacity you have, and then be able to then resolve that problem in a way that is practical, financially and socially and even logistically, and then actually implement it. So that part is a part I think every state, organization or whatever you call it will have to really go down into details of figuring out. And we have been, I shouldn't say struggling, but it's exciting in fact. We've been working and progressing in that area, and of course there's a long way to go.